And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Vic Martino Show. And here he is, Vic Martino. Hey, that's me, Vic Martino. And this is the Vic Martino Show. Well, actually, this is more of an announcement. You see, we were supposed to have the Vic Martino variety show, which was going to be titled Vic Martino's Got Talent. But unfortunately, you know, it's a shoestring budget, and the camera that I have does not record good sound, particularly singing when you're singing. And Vic Martino's Got Talent was mainly going to be a musical comedy show where Vic Martino does a lot of singing. And so the recording, or the camera wasn't recording the singing, didn't sound the way it should have. So this is basically a test run, testing the camera, while the cameraman's dropping things in the back there. Testing the camera to see how it sounds, just talking. So I'm going to just wing it, ad-lib some things here. This is not an official show, like I said. This is more of a test, testing the camera, and an announcement for you fans who are anxiously awaiting the Vic Martino's Got Talent show. It will be coming up soon, hopefully sooner than later. Just like I said, we have to work out a few kinks, namely this crummy camera. But anyway, so let me see. Now I said this was a talk show. It's really not. I don't have any guests to talk to, but I'm going to talk about something for a very brief amount of time. You know, I used to pursue it. I used to be an actor. I was pursuing an acting career. I did some things, TV shows, movies. And some people ask me, they say, Vic, what's your technique, acting technique? You know, there's all different kind of acting techniques. You know, there's the method acting, Strasberg, there's Meisner. I guess I lean more towards Meisner. You know, the method actors, I don't know. You know, I was reading a certain famous actor's biography. I won't mention his name. And he really, well, I'll be right there. And he really belabors over the getting into a part. He really, I mean, what he has to do to get into a part, and he takes so many takes. To me, that's not a good actor. I mean, if it doesn't come natural, if you got to work that hard at it, you better damn be good. Now, me, I believe in the Fawcett School of Acting. Turn it on and off. For instance, okay, say a director tells me he wants me to do a scene and I have to be angry, all right? What? Who are you talking to? Who do you think I am? Trying to make a fool of me? See? Or if he says, I want you to be happy. How about sad? You see? That's a good actor. Turn it on and off like a faucet. It shouldn't be that difficult. It's easy. It's not hard work. Construction job is hard work. Acting is easy. You know, the late great Spencer Tracy said it best when they asked him, you know, how you know, he gets into a part, whatever, because he was considered one of the best actors of his time. His answer was, know your lines and don't bump into the furniture. So I come from the Spencer Tracy School of Acting. Know your lines and don't bump into the furniture. And lines aren't all that important. Get the lines out of the way and say what you really feel. It doesn't always have to be the way it's written. For instance, if the line is written, hey, I'm going to go over there and make a cup of coffee, okay? Now you stay within the premise, the guidelines, but maybe you don't say it that way. Maybe you say, you know what, I feel like having a cup of coffee right now. Same difference, but that you said it the way you felt it. That's more real, more natural, okay? All right. So that was my, you know, suggestions about acting for all those struggling actors out there. You know, don't make a big deal out of it. Just do it as best you can. And this is Vic Martino saying, stay tuned for the Vic Martino's Got Talent coming soon. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Vic Martino Show. And now here he is, Vic Martino. Hey, that's me, Vic Martino. drinking out of my Humphrey Bogart coffee cup. Drinking coffee out of my Humphrey Bogart coffee cup. I'll be right there. You gotta wait a while. I'm doing a show. Where was I? Oh yeah, drinking coffee out of my Humphrey Bogart coffee cup. Or is it coffee? That's for me to know and you not to know. Anyway, let me explain what's going on here. I made an announcement, posted a video here on YouTube. I don't know if this is going to be shown anywhere else except YouTube, maybe Facebook, I don't know. Anyway, announcing doing a coming attraction for Vic Martino's Got Talent. And we were all ready to shoot. We shot an episode, the pilot, the other day, but unfortunately the camera we have is a piece of crap. And the sound, when you sing, this camera doesn't record good audio for singing. So until we get the proper camera ready to do the Vic Martino's Got Talent variety show, we're doing, as a prelude, as a warm-up, the Vic Martino talk show, which is this, since all I can do with this camera is talk, can't sing. So, I'm going to think of what to talk about for this episode, probably the one and only episode, and actually it's going to be in 5-minute increments, because this camera is only recording 5 minutes at a time. We got to figure out. We did this once before. There is a way to do like an hour, but we haven't used it in a while. And this is a shoestring budget, and I only have one cameraman. That's Lucas. He's not the most proficient of cameramen, so we have to figure out how to use this camera properly. But we could do the 5-minute increments and then edit them together. See how long this is going to be, depending on what I'm going to be talking about, if I think it's going to be interesting or not, and you people are going to want to watch. So let's get started. I guess maybe we'll cut now, and this will give me time to think of what to do for the next segment. And let's see, because at the very moment, let's see, there's really nothing to talk about. Usually a talk show has guests. Well, I don't have any guests here, so I'm going to have to just kind of wing it, which I'm capable of doing. So anyway, like I said, going to take we're going to cut, and then I'll be right back. And in the meantime, I'll finish my coffee out of my Humphrey Bogart coffee cup. Here's looking at you, kid. Well, we're back. Did we ever leave? Well, you might not notice we left, but took a little bit of a break, and as you can see, I got some things to talk about. I mentioned the Humphrey Bogart coffee cup. Well, there's also a Stan Laurel and Oliver Hardy coffee cup that I occasionally drink from. And look at that, it's signed Stan Laurel and Oliver Hardy. I wonder if they really signed, if this is really their autograph. Someone else probably signed it for them, saying it's them. Okay. Now, here's some interesting items to talk about here. At one time, they used to sell Sinatra's tomato sauce, Sinatra spaghetti sauce. This is Frank Sinatra put out a line of spaghetti sauce. This is tomato basil. There were different flavors. It didn't last too long. Actually, it wasn't really Frank Sinatra's family recipe. They were just using his name. And they weren't all that good. So, Frank Sinatra expects something really good. It was just okay. Didn't last too long. Now, we go from Frank Sinatra to D. Martin. This is a D. Martin singing doll, I guess. Can't really say it's an action figure. Oh, wouldn't you know it? The batteries are dead. Anyway, when you press this, he actually said, "Be quiet out there, I'm recording something." Oh, man, you believe this? Oh. Well, I said it was a shoestring budget. We don't have people outside keeping the traffic quiet, Anyway, you press the button, and he sings not one, but 2 songs. When the moon, I'll sing for him. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. And the other one is, everybody loves somebody sometime. But the batteries are dead, or there's no batteries inside. I didn't check. So that's this D. Martin. And the funny thing about it is, he looks like my brother Michael, who unfortunately passed away in 2009. But he looks just like my brother Michael. I remember one time my brother Michael was, when I first got this and I had it in the dining room, my brother Michael, we were living together, roommates, and he looked at it and said, brother, that looks like me. And we kind of thought of it at the same time. I was looking at it, he was looking at it, we're like, yeah, it looks like you. Anyway, that's the D. Martin. Unfortunately, I thought it was going to be able to, sing the song for you, but it's not, the batteries are not, either the batteries aren't working or there are no batteries in there. Now, let me talk about this for a second. This here, I don't know if you can see, this is yours truly wearing a tuxedo, just like D. Martin. See, a tuxedo? Not that I was trying to be like D. Martin, but back in the day when you were an entertainer, a singer, comedian, depending on the kind of act you did, like I used to work Atlantic City and Las Vegas and Laughlin, Nevada. And those were the days where entertainers wore tuxedos. We had to dress nice. Not anymore. You don't wear a tuxedo anymore. If you did, young people wouldn't even know what the hell you were supposed to be. They would probably think you were a waiter. Like, why is this singer wearing a tuxedo? But in those days, like D. Martin here and Frank Sinatra, entertainers wore tuxedos when they did nightclubs and stuff like that. Okay, so that was that segment, and we'll be back with the next segment. Okay, I mentioned how my brother Michael Martino, resembled D. Martin. And you can see here my brother Michael's driver's license when he had it renewed. He was older here, and well, the D. Martin doll, that's D. Martin, I guess, yeah, when he, the face is a more older D. Martin. And you can see the resemblance there between D. Martin and Michael Martino. Yeah, my brother looked a lot like him when he was younger. When D. Martin was younger, he also resembled him a lot. But as I said, the doll here is, I guess it was resembling D. Martin when he was a little older. And here's my brother when he was a little older, resembling D. Martin. So there you go. That's D. Martin and Michael Martino. Martin and Martino. Okay, and now to give you a tour of the studio here where the Vic Martino show is being recorded, you'll notice the walls have posters here of the Marx Brothers. This one on top here, this used to glow in the dark. It doesn't anymore. And this one on the bottom, this is from their movie A Night in Casablanca, they're sucking on a water pipe. This is like one of the first posters that all of us Marx Brothers fans back in the day had. This was one of the first Marx Brothers posters that was, available. And the reason why this Marx Brothers are mean a lot to me because there's memories of them growing up are attached with my family. Oh, that was the phone going off. Okay. Will you soundproof this studio, please? All right. Memories of the Marx Brothers are, for me, are attached with my family. For instance, my mother Rose took me all the way to Millburn, New Jersey, from Brooklyn, New York to Millburn, New Jersey, to see Duck Soup, one of their movies that was being screened in a revival theater, because I had never seen one of the movies on a big screen, and that was a big thrill for me as a kid. And then not long after that, they started showing their movies in Manhattan, at the revival theaters here in Manhattan. And this went on for quite a long time, quite a few years, all throughout the 70s, late 60s, 70s, into the 80s. The Marx Brothers were very popular. They were revived, and the younger generation discovered them, and I was part of that generation that grew up watching their old movies. Like I said, my mother took me to see them in Jersey, and then also in Manhattan screenings. And I remember one time my father, Jack, took me to see, they were showing 4 of their movies at once in a theater. It was A Night at the Opera, Day at the Races, At the Circus, and The Big Store. And after 2 movies, my father was like, all right, come and see the next 2 with your mother. No, I want to stay and see them. Oh, for Christ's sakes. Anyway, we stayed, and he wound up laughing more than I did. He wound up enjoying the films more than I did. And when I asked him which his favorite was, I knew the answer was going to be, like I said, they were showing A Night at the Opera, Day at the Races, At the Circus, and The Big Store. I knew his answer was going to be Day at the Races, because he used to love to spend time at the racetrack. He used to take me there as a kid quite often. He was a compulsive gambler, just like Chico was. Groucho, Chico, and Harpo. And Chico was the gambler like my father was. And anyway, oh, my brother Michael took me to see Minnie's Boys Broadway play, a Broadway show about the life and times of the Marx Brothers. Minnie was the name of their mother. And Minnie's Boys, Shelley Winters playing Minnie, and my brother took me to see that. That was my first Broadway play. So, like I said, the Marx Brothers, there's a lot of memories attached, connected with my family. Appropriately enough, they were brothers, so they were family, and my family, and there's an attachment there. So they have a very special place in my heart. The Marx Brothers do, and here you can see is I showed you that D. Martin doll. Here's a Groucho Marx doll. But the D. Martin one, you press the button, it sings if the batteries are working. Well, this one is a ventriloquist dummy. Don't mean to call you dummy, sorry, Groucho. A ventriloquist doll with the string, and you make it talk. It doesn't talk by itself. And here we have a nice framed picture of Groucho Marx here. Oh, and speaking of D. Martin, here's a nice framed picture of D. Martin and Jerry Lewis when he was part of Martin and Lewis, the comedy team. They were a team for 10 years. And here it's signed, it's autographed by both. My best to you, D. Martin. Me too, Jerry Lewis. And they really did sign that. Not to me. I got this second here. And, okay, you can see, now for Martin and Lewis, here's Abbott and Costello, another famous comedy team. Martin Lewis were the 50s, Abbott and Costello were before them in the 40s. And this is a framed album, their record that they used to give to their fans of them doing that famous classic baseball routine, Who's on First? This is the original version, and they used to hand this record out to their fans. And I got this framed. This was given to me by a friend. You can see it's cracked. He cracked it, probably dropped it before he gave it to me. But anyway, I framed it, and it's Abbott and Costello here. And that's the framed picture. And we'll sign off with this one last poster here of the Marx Brothers that I have here, and inserted our other comedy teams with the Marx Brothers poster. Okay, we're back. Let me just confess, this really isn't a show. I said the Vic Martino show, I just said that. This is more like a tour of my apartment. My dining room / entertainment room. It's not really a show. But we'll call it the Vic Martino show for now. Like I said, this is a prelude, a warm-up to what's going to be a show, the Vic Martino variety show. That's going to be called Vic Martino's Got Talent. But unfortunately, we can't shoot it with this camera. This doesn't have good audio. Even the talking isn't what it should be. But the singing, forget it. But you wouldn't want to listen to that. So that's put off for a while till we, iron out the technical difficulties here. Probably wind up shooting it on my cell phone camera. It's better than this camera, believe it or not. Okay, anyway, we're almost done here with the Vic Martino show, the Vic Martino tour, if you will. Now, this here is my Batman display. Okay? Yes, I'm a real fan. Ever since I was a kid, been a fan of the Batman. And then, of course, I got away from it for a while. But now the books are so, oh man, the graphic novels are so damn good. They're written for adults now on an adult level. I mean, of course, if you're a kid, you still love Batman. Who doesn't? And probably even more now that it's adult oriented. But here we have the Batman display. Over here you see the Batman action figure, and here's some really good Batman books, hardcover books. And here's some at the bottom here. Some more at the bottom. Get the top and then get the bottom there. Yeah, these are really, really good Batman hardcover graphic novels. Excellent stories. The writers are brilliant. They come up with some really good stories, like I said. On an adult level, if you're an adult, children of all ages love the Batman. Always did, always will. And this is my Batman display. And I just thought I'd show you that before we sign off. And we got one more segment to go, and then we're going to have to go. Oh, sorry to bother you. Just one more thing. This was an afterthought. I almost forgot about this. I want to show you something here, point something out here. This is interesting, okay? Lieutenant Columbo, played by Peter Falk, excellent, one of my favorite TV shows, my favorite TV detectives. You know, besides the TV shows, there's also a series of Columbo books, mystery novels here. Here's, you see, there's the real Peter Falk Columbo who played Columbo on the cover. See? Columbo paperbacks that are, you know, good detective stories. And now here's an interesting thing. To me, anyway. Maybe it won't be interesting to you, but I talk about the Marx Brothers. Well, a la Columbo, they wrote some, there's a series of books where Groucho Marx, as if Groucho Marx was a detective. Groucho Marx, Master Detective. And it's a novel, a mystery novel, you know, like in the vein of Columbo. And there's a couple of them. Here's another one. Elementary, my dear Groucho. Like elementary, my dear Watson, like Sherlock Holmes used to say. And here's Groucho Marx. Like I said, these books are detective stories, and Groucho Marx is the detective. This one is Groucho Marx, Master Detective, Elementary, my dear Groucho. There was also another one, I didn't get that one, Groucho Marx, Secret Agent. And I thought, Groucho Marx, Secret Agent's gone a little too far. I don't see Groucho Marx as James Bond. But I do see him as a detective, like Columbo. So there you go. I haven't read them yet, but I look forward to reading them. And after I do, I'll let you know if they're worth reading. And I'm sure they are, especially if you're a Marx Brothers fan. You can't get enough of the Marx Brothers, whether it's Groucho by himself or with his brothers. And as far as Columbo, like I said, he's my favorite TV detective. I would say some of my favorite fiction detectives are Sherlock Holmes. You know, of course, everybody Sherlock Holmes. Lieutenant Columbo. And now to that list, I add Groucho Marx, Master Detective. Hey, Lupita, what are you doing on my bed? Sleeping on top of my shirts. Anyway, there's Lupita. Lupita always has to get into the act. Lupita loves to be on camera. All right, this is the last segment of the Martino show. The show that is not a show. All right, I just wanted to, last but not least, I wanted to show you my bookshelf. My bookcase shelf here, where I got my books on display. Most of these books are biographies of the great entertainers of the 20th century. See, Kovacs, Leonard Ernie Kovacs, Bob Hope, all kinds of Bob Hope, John Wayne, John Lennon, the Beatles, Johnny Carson, David Letterman, a book about Saturday Night Live, early rock and roll. We got a lot of Elvis Presley books, Frank Sinatra books, Humphrey Bogart books, Laurel and Hardy and the Marx Brothers. It's just a great collection of, like I said, great, mostly entertainers from the 20th century. And then I'm also a fan of the superhero graphic novels. I mentioned Batman. Here's my collection of graphic novels. And, now on top of the bookcase shelf, you'll see the DVD collection. And here's some more DVDs over here. So that's my book/DVD case shelves. And I think that's about it. I don't think I'll be collecting too much more. I keep saying that. And then, you know, you go on Amazon and eBay, and you get things at such a reasonable price. You know, it's like, oh, this is in a store. This would be, you know, $60, and here it is on Amazon or eBay for only $20. And the next thing you know, you're spending a lot of money by buying things that are a lot cheaper than you would in the store, and you're buying more than you normally would. And so that's how the collection just keeps growing and growing and growing. But I think that's about enough. By the time I get to read all these books, I'll probably be 90 years old if I live that long. I did read most of these books. Now I'm mostly reading the graphic novels. Okay, so, well, Lupita, how do you think? Did you think the show went well? Were you sleeping through the whole show, Lupita? Were you sleeping through the whole videos? Come on, Lupita, help me out here. All right, well, I'm going to let Lupita finish sleeping. I'm going to be quiet so she can get her rest, her beauty sleep, and maybe I'll take a nap myself. I hope you enjoyed the, I don't know, show, whatever the hell this was. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And until Next time, good evening, friends. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Vic Martino Show. Hey, this is the Vic Martino Show, and I'm Vic Martino. And this is, well, it's a talk show because I'm going to talk. See, we were about to do the Vic Martino's Got Talent variety show. But this cheap camera doesn't record good sound when you're singing. The audio's not that great for the singing. And Vic Martino's Got Talent is mostly a variety show. It's going to be a musical comedy. So until we get that ready for production, we're going to do the Vic Martino talk show. Because with this cheap camera, all you can do is talk. You can't sing. The music doesn't come out good. So I'm going to talk. So these are going to be, it's not really show recordings, 5-minute recordings, because that's all this camera can record at a time. And we're going to do some, 5-minute recording segments of me just talking about things. So let's call it the Vic Martino Talk Show. Anyway, all right. For this first show, the opening show, I'm going to talk about acting technique because I did some acting. I appeared on The Sopranos, Law and Order, Curb Your Enthusiasm, quite a few TV shows throughout the years, television shows. And I did movies. I was in movies. I actually starred in some low-budget, independent movies, films, that I don't know where the hell they wound up, wherever they got released. Straight to DVD or straight to the garbage heap. I have no idea. But anyway, some people ask me about acting technique. There's a lot of actors who belabor over parts. They really got to get into it. Method acting, there's Strasberg, Meisner. I guess I lean more towards Meisner. But I call my acting technique the Fawcett School of Acting. Now, what I mean by that is you should be able to turn it on and off. If you got to belabor over a point and you need to do so many takes of the same scene, to me, not that you're not a good actor, but it's not coming natural. All right? To me, it comes natural. For instance, if a director says to me, I want you in this scene, to be angry. What do you mean? Who are you talking to? Who do you think you're talking to? I'll teach you. See, that's angry. See, you see what I mean? If he says, I want you to be afraid. Oh, no, please don't. No, stay away. Leave me alone. You see what I mean? How about he says he wants you to be sad? Oh, no, I can't believe that happened. You see? Or how about happy? There you go. That's my acting technique. So for you struggling actors out there, my advice is like the late, great Spencer Tracy said about acting. Know your lines and don't bump into the furniture. It's not a big deal. Acting's not hard work. It should come easy to you. If it's hard work, get in another line of business. You're not in it to make money. You're in it to be creative, and it shouldn't be that difficult. It's like construction work should be difficult, not acting. Acting is easy if you're a natural actor like yours truly. Anyway, that was our first segment, or very first Vic Martino show. Stay tuned here on YouTube for more. Until next time, be well. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Vic Martino Show. Hey, I'm Vic Martino, and this is the Vic Martino Show, talk show, because I'm going to talk. This is our second show. The first one ran about 4 minutes, one of the shortest shows you'll ever see. These are actually segments, recorded segments. We're calling it the Vic Martino Show, but, it's not really a show. A show that's not a show. The first show I talked about acting technique. If you missed it, look for it here on YouTube. This one I'm going to talk about a subject that, performers didn't really like to get into, politics, because we don't like to offend any members of our audience. But they don't seem to care anymore who they offend, especially one particular side. Uh, you got these late night talk shows. All they do is pontificate. They attack this one certain politician. That's really, whether you like them or not, it's not fair. They don't attack the other side. They're very biased, and they're not funny. The late great Johnny Carson, who did the Tonight Show for 35 years, he once had a guest, a comedian, who said something political to offend, a certain segment of the citizenry. And during the commercial break, Johnny Carson leaned over to him and said, "You just lost half your audience." And now they don't care. They just want people that think like them, and they don't care about their audience. I don't like to offend anyone in the audience. To me, politics today is very problematic. It's too extreme. Both sides, whether they, label themselves left or right, there's extremists on both sides. Both no good. Both problematic, both causing a lot of problems, particularly this one side right now in this country. And, it's not good. You got to have a two-party system. Me, I'm an independent. I could go Democrat or Republican, whoever I feel is the better person for the job. I don't go along the party lines. I'm not indoctrinated. I'm my own man. I'm an independent. And whoever I think is better for the country is who I would vote for. Actually, I don't even vote. I don't believe in either party. But, it's the lesser of two evils. But, today it's just, when I was growing up, you had formats where you got both sides, and they were civil to each other, civilized. Now they attack each other and they call names. I hope it gets better before it gets worse, because we're not headed in the right direction. Anyway, this show is supposed to be, light entertainment, but the subject for this one was politics. That's it. I'll stay away from that in the future because it's not a fun subject, not pleasant. So the next Vic Martino show, let's see. We talked about acting technique. This was politics. Maybe we'll talk about religion. That's a fun subject to get into. So until the next time, this is Vic Martino saying, be well. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Vic Martino Show. See, that's not me, that's the announcer. Anyway, this is the Vic Martino Show, talk show. I'm Vic Martino. We call it show for want of a better label. It's not really a show, it's just recorded segments. But anyway, the last two shows, the first one I talked about acting technique, and the second one was politics. This one's going to be about religion. Now, I don't want to upset people. I know people get upset. Politics and religion is touchy subjects. I'm going to try to be light about it. Me, religious, I want to believe there's something more than this. If there's a God, I don't know. I don't know. I hope there is. I really hope there's a heaven, because I'd love to see my beloved ones, my loved ones again. I hope they're all there in heaven and we're going to be together again when my time comes. So, but I don't know. I guess I'm an atheist, right? An agnostic? An agnostic. An atheist doesn't believe at all. I want to believe, I'm not sure. But I do believe if there is a God, okay? Now, hear what I'm saying. I'm not saying there's not. I'm not saying there is. I'm just saying if there is, I believe he has nothing to do with this world. Okay? A lot of people say, oh, he does this, he does that. Oh, it's God's will. God did this. God made a miracle. No. He doesn't do anything on this earth. He's not of this earth. The way we're not of heaven, he's not of here. Because then if you say he's doing miracles, what miracles? If you're going to blame him for doing all the good in the world, what about the bad things in the world? There's a lot of bad happening. Then is he responsible for the bad things happening? No, I don't think he's responsible for anything. I knew this one woman said, oh, yeah, God, I believe he makes miracles. Oh, and then at the same sentence, she was saying how she's been in pain all her life, dealing with pain. I want to say, well, if God makes miracles, how come he's not curing your pain? He's not a doctor. He doesn't cure cancer or whatever. If things happen, whatever's going to happen is going to happen, no matter how hard you pray. I mean, it makes you feel better. Yeah, go ahead. I pray every night, believe it or not, just in case. And I talk to my loved ones. But I really believe that, God, the way we don't have anything to do with heaven, heaven has nothing to do with earth, and you won't see God or heaven until the day comes when, you join the afterlife. This life, we're on our own. That's just my opinion, all right? For better or worse, take it or leave it, but that's what I believe. And we're all entitled to our own beliefs. And until next time, this is Vic Martino saying, keep believing in what you believe in. Now it's time for the Vic Martino Show. Hey, this is the Vic Martino quote show. I'm Vic Martino. No, who else would I be? Not Funicello? Of course I'm Vic Martino. And this is our fourth segment. Let's see. The first show, we talked about acting technique, and then it was politics, then it was religion. And now it's going to be about the Batman. Because, we went from religion to Batman, from God to Batman. Because to a lot of people, Batman is God. Batman is a religion. And I'm a big Batman fan ever since I was a kid. Then, of course, I outgrew it. But recently, I've been more of a Batman fan than ever because of these graphic novels and a lot of these animated movies they make on DVD. They're excellent. Really good stories. Really good. The artists, the writers, they're brilliant. And this is my Batman action figure. And I want to talk about there's too many Batman books to talk about. They're ongoing. They created Batman in 1939. Here it is, 2024. So, how many Batman comic books and graphic novels, stories there are? It's incredible. You got Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck. Anyway, I just want to show you some really cool Batman books here. Cameraman, get over there. Make sure we're getting this in a good position there. Lucas?
It's perfect.
Yeah, okay. That's Lucas, the cameraman. Say hi, Lucas.
What's up?
No, say hi, Lucas.
Hi.
What about hi, Lucas?
Hi, Lucas.
Okay. Here's some really good Batman books. And, look at this cover, right? Look at this one. Whoa. Man, I'm telling you. Yeah, there's some really great Batman books. I mean, I got some really good hardcover books. These are really, really cool. This is Batman, the Ultimate Guide. This is a really good one. Good story. Batman, One Dark Night. They call Batman the Dark Knight. And here's, Batman Masterpieces. You got to get these books, I'm telling you. And this is all about the Batman merchandising stuff. They merchandise Batman paraphernalia, not just books, but dolls, toys, dolls, action figures, whatever. Here's, man, I'm telling you, these are really cool. And, what was this? Batman, like I said, was created in 1939, and here we are, 2024, and Batman's better than ever with the movies, starting with the one in 1989, where they interpreted Batman as a dark, intense character, more realistic than the 60s, 66, 67 television show, which was great, but that was its own entity. That was the Adam West Batman. Now it's really the Batman, what Batman's supposed to be. And a large thanks goes out to executive producer Michael Uslan. Michael Uslan, who is the man responsible for bringing the Dark Knight version of Batman to the movie screens. So we should all you Batman fans should all be familiar with the name Michael Uslan. We owe him a great debt for bringing us the Batman that we all always wanted. Even as kids, we wanted to take our Batman serious. He was nobody to mess around with. He was a guy whose parents were murdered as a child. He witnessed his parents being murdered, and he became, Batman to avenge the death of his parents and to protect the lives of the innocent. So, that's not a subject to fool around with. Serious stuff there. See you next time. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Vic Martino Show. Thank you, announcer. I'm Vic Martino, and this is the Vic Martino Talk Show, because I'm Vic Martino and I talk. In the last segment, the last show, we talked about the Batman, popularity of the Batman, since created in 1939 by, now, here's what I'm going to talk about. This is part two of me talking about the Batman. Because, okay, Batman has always been credited, the creator of Batman has always been the Batman created by Bob Kane. Now, Bob Kane did come up with the name. Basically, he came up with the character, the Batman. But if you ever see, I should have checked in one of the books, I'm sure the picture's there. But anyway, most of you Batman fans know the original. Bob Kane's idea for what Batman was supposed to look like was awful. All right? He had a blonde-haired guy with like a Robin mask, a red shirt, and bat wings. If Batman would have looked like that, he would have never been as popular as he is. Okay? We wouldn't even be talking about him today. That's a fact. The look had a lot to do with the success. The artist, creator Bill Finger is the one who came up with the look that we know and love to this day. He is really the creator of the Batman, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, both of them should have gotten credit. Bob Kane, because he came up with the initial concept and the name. Hi, Lupita. No, I'm not talking about Catwoman. I'm talking about Batman. That's my cat, Lupita. Anyway, give me Lucas. Give me Lupita. I want to get Lupita on camera now that I've talked about her.
Come on, baby.
But anyway, Bob Kane has been getting the credit for creating Batman for all these years until recently. Oh, here's Lupita. Well, don't be camera shy, Lupita. See? Oh, there's Lupita. Say hi, Lupita.
Wow.
All right, see? There's Lupita. Okay, Lupita, now you can go about trying to catch mice. Actually, she caught all the mice we had. We don't have any more mice here. Now she's after the flies. And I keep telling her, Lupita, and the birds outside. So you can't catch flies or birds. She does catch flies, but the birds are outside. You can't catch them, and they fly. So, but anyway, let me get back to the Batman. So yeah, so for all those years, all these many years, Bob Kane got the sole credit, and Bill Finger went uncredited. But those of us in the know, we knew about Bill Finger, and it wasn't until this documentary. I forget the guy's name. He's a real hero, a real life Batman. He made this documentary called Batman and Bill about Bill Finger, and that's what brought attention to the injustice that was being done to Bill Finger. And he finally now gets credit. Now it says Batman created by Bob Kane and Bill Finger. And it started with the Batman versus Superman movie. But that's how many years it took. All because of that greedy bastard Bob Kane. Should be ashamed of himself for not sharing the credit, the greedy bastard. I mean, there was enough credit to go around, and he was making enough money. He would have, I hate when people become so friggin' greedy, man. I mean, he should have done the right thing and credited Bill Finger as well. But anyway, at least now justice is being done. And whenever you see a Batman movie or read a Batman book, now that's now created. It says Batman created by Bob Kane and Bill Finger, as it always should have. So here's to Bill Finger. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Vic Martino Show. The Vic Martino Talk Show. Because I'm Vic Martino, and I talk. Oh, I'll be right there. Wait for me. Doing a show. Keep the meter running. Anyway, the last video, I talked about how the creator of Batman, Bob Kane, how greedy he was, wouldn't share the credit with a guy who really deserved. Arguably, he was really the creator, Bill Finger, who helped create the Batman. And after so many years now, he's finally getting the credit he deserves. Which brings me to the subject of greed. Greedy people. You know, I actually know people who have money, who have money to spare, and they're the cheapest bastards you'd ever want to meet. I never understood greed. I never understood the love of money. To me, money is really a necessary evil. And all the people that owe me money proves my point that I'm not, money hungry. But there are people who have money and just, they're such stingy bastards. They're so cheap. I mean, I have a couple of friends of mine that I hardly associate with anymore because of that. You know, not that I want any of their money, but the fact that they're not charitable, they're not generous. I mean, I give to charities. I don't want to brag, but not as much as I'd like, because I wound up going broke. But there's a good handful, well, actually 10 or more charities that every now and then I give money to, especially around the holidays during Christmas and New Year's. I have some favorite charities that I try to help out, cancer, diabetes, starving children, animals, taking care of animals. And I know a couple of friends come to mind that have, they were like trust fund babies. They got money from their parents. One guy from his mommy, three guys actually. Well, yeah, I mean, I know three guys who, fairly well off for the rest of their lives. And they're so friggin' frugal, to say the least. One guy is ridiculously cheap. It's like if you're familiar with Jack Benny, great comedian from the 20th century. And he played a character that was very stingy and got a lot of laughs out of that. Well, I have a friend who's just like that in real life, to that extreme. I can never understand how people could be so, have money that they could live the rest of their life. And I'm not saying they should just spend it frivolously or spend it foolishly, but at least spend it, enjoy it, be generous, spread it around. I mean, they act like, like they're going to take it with them. Hey, I'll be right there. I said, wait, I'm trying to do a show here, and you're beeping your horn? Anyway, it's like, you're not going to take it with you. Enjoy it, spend it, spread it around, be generous. You can't take it with you. I don't understand. But I guess that's how they're raised. Anyone who's stingy was raised by stingy parents. Their parents were stingy, they're stingy. It's like, a disease. It's like cancer. It just spreads. And the extreme of that is greed. And when you're greedy, you're no damn good. I believe that if there is a heaven, you're going to have to do some penance. If you had money and you weren't generous, that's a sin. You're going to have to make up for that somehow. Anyway, this wasn't a pleasant subject to talk about, but every now and then we're going to get into something serious. And, I got a car waiting for me. I got to go somewhere. Where, I don't know. But until the next Vic Martino talk show, keep talking, but don't say anything that'll get you in trouble. And now it's time once again for the Vic Martino Show. Yes, it is time once again for the Vic Martino Show, talk show. And I'm Vic Martino, and I'm going to talk. For this segment of this show, quote show, I want to talk about some of the great entertainers of the 20th century. They were really all-encompassing. They did it all. Singers, comedians, they really entertained us. They were really entertainers. For instance, here, like D. Martin, Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr. Of course, those are the Rat Pack. Sinatra really didn't like the name the Rat Pack. He preferred the Summit. Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Sam Davis Jr. And, you know, Elvis Presley. Oh, man, there were so many great ones at that time. Some great actors here like Humphrey Bogart on this coffee cup. John Wayne on this whiskey bottle. Oh, man, there's so many great entertainers of the 20th century in particular. Now, here in the 21st century, in my opinion, we still have great entertainers, don't get me wrong. We still have really good entertainers, but not like we did. They were so, I mean, you watched them and you were in awe, of some of their talents. Take the late, great Bobby Darin. The guy was so versatile, There were so many like that at the time. Too many to name. And I wish we would have more like that, I used to perform. They were my role models, and I did a lot of live performances back in the day in Atlantic City, Las Vegas, Laughlin, Nevada, all the Indian reservation casinos, and in those days, like here in this picture, you see this is me in a tuxedo, like the late great Dean Martin here. Well, I wasn't trying to be like Dean Martin, but in those days, Atlantic City, Las Vegas, if you were a singer, a comedian, whatever, an entertainer, you wore a tuxedo. You would dress nice. They don't even dress nice anymore. And unfortunately, back when I was performing, we didn't have access to like cell phone cameras and stuff like that. So a lot of my performances weren't recorded like they would be today. You have somebody just in the audience with a cell phone that could be recording you. Back then you had to have a camera set up, and it was too clumsy. You got in the way, and I didn't want to have to worry about a camera being knocked over or whatever. So most of my performances haven't been recorded like I said, like they would be today, because we have the technology. We have access to all these great cell phone cameras, and back then you didn't have that. So unfortunately, a lot of those performances of mine are just in my memory, and I don't have them preserved. I have a few of them posted here on YouTube, but most of those from back in the day are gone with the wind. But I carry the fond memories, and those days are gone now. It's not the same. I mean, still, I still perform occasionally. Most of the videos now of me singing are from karaoke, but those performances of mine are, like I said, they're etched in memory. Very fond memories they make indeed. And, well, here's to the future. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Vic Martino Show. Hey, we have a new announcer. Hey, this is the Vic Martino Show. I'm Vic Martino, drinking out of my Laurel and Hardy coffee cup. Very appropriately, because I'm going to talk about Laurel and Hardy, not just Laurel and Hardy. The last video, I talked about some of the great entertainers of the 20th century. Yours truly was included. And now I want to talk about some of my favorite comedians, comedy teams, since I was a kid. I've loved these guys, and it's good to know that they're still making books about them. They're still within a certain, I guess, people that grew up with them still love them. The younger generation, not so much. They don't even know who they are anymore. But I want to talk about 3 new books that were written recently, very new. And this is the newest one of them. It's called Promotional Pandemonium. And it's about Stan Laurel and Oliver Hardy. And all 3 of these books that I'm going to talk about, written by the same author, Richard Green, who put these books together. Excellent. Really good stuff here in these books. If you're a Laurel and Hardy fan, this has got so many really priceless photographs. And this is, like I said, this was the one about Laurel and Hardy called Promotional Pandemonium. The first book, this was the newest one that this author, Richard Green, put out. First one here was, this was the very first one. It was called Marketing Mayhem. And it's the comedy team of D. Martin and Jerry Lewis. And like I said, excellent photographs, priceless photographs. Really, really nice, really nice. And worth getting. You get them on Amazon. And the newest one is called, oh no, the newest one was the Laurel and Hardy one. The one before that, the Martin and Lewis one, Marketing Mayhem, was first, followed by Advertising Anarchy. And it's about Bud Abbott and Lou Costello. And it's like the thickest book, I mean, of the three. Really, really nice. Really nice. Right? And you can, like I said, you can get all three on Amazon. Now, the order of the comedians. First, you had Stan Laurel and Oliver Hardy, were very popular in the 20s and 30s. Then Bud Abbott and Lou Costello in the 40s and 50s. And then Martin and Lewis was the last great comedy team. They were in they came out in the 50s. And for 10 years, they were together. Abbott and Costello for about 20. And Laurel and Hardy even longer. So anyway, these are the three most popular two-man comedy teams ever. And it's good to see that they're still, like I said, this author, Richard Green, just came out with these three books, and they're still making books about them. And hopefully, you know, they will for years to come. I don't know for how much longer. I guess when the last of the baby boomers are gone, I think they might be forgotten about. Hopefully not. But their body of work will always speak for itself. They left a great legacy of laughter behind them. Anyway, that was my mentioning, and like I said, try to get all three books: Promotional Pandemonium, Advertising Anarchy, Marketing Mayhem. You can get all three on Amazon. Enjoy. Oh. Now it's time for the Vic Martino Show. Hey! This is the Vic Martino Talk Show, because I'm Vic Martino and I talk. And we've already done about, I don't know, a handful, more than a handful, of 5-minute recordings here that we posted of me talking about various subjects. And this will probably be the last one until we get the get all set up to what we were supposed to do was the Vic Martino's Got Talent, which was going to be a variety show, and unfortunately the camera we have doesn't record good audio for music, you know, for singing. So we said, well, we might as well make use of the camera for now. So we did these little segments, what we're titling the Vic Martino Talk Show. It's not really a show. It's a show that's not a show. Just 5-minute recordings. Also, this camera only records 5-minute segments. There is a way to do like an hour or more, but we've got to figure it out. So we've got to work out the kinks, and once we're ready, we will be doing the Vic Martino's Got Talent variety show that we'll post here on YouTube. But for now, to keep the many Vic Martino fans satisfied, we did these little talk show segments until we get the Vic Martino's Got Talent up and running. So I hope you enjoyed the what we've done so far, the Vic Martino, for want of a better word, Vic Martino Talk Show, want of a better title. We're calling it the Vic Martino Talk Show because I'm Vic Martino and I talk. But like I said, it wasn't really a show. It was just recording those segments that we posted here on YouTube. And hopefully we will be having the Vic Martino variety show up and running soon. I guess we're going to have to get a better camera. Actually, we'll probably wind up filming it on the cell phone camera, which is better than this camera I bought. Lucas, what's the make of this camera? What camera is this?
Oh, man.
You don't know? Was it 4K?
Yeah, this is 4K, yes.
What does it say in the front there?
DBC.
DVC.
Yeah.
DVC 4K?
DBC digital video camera.
Well, what did I spend? Like $200?
Maybe more.
More?
Kind of like 3?
3? Well, it's not worth it. I mean, if you're gonna do it's supposedly for just to do, it's not good enough to make films, movies, But it's supposed to be, make good videos to post on YouTube. But not if you're gonna sing.
The audio is very...
The audio is not good. So don't, you get what you pay for. If you're gonna get a camera, you got to spend some money and get a good one. Anyway, I'm stuck with this for now, so I figured I'd just do something. And so I did what I did. Hopefully you enjoyed what I did. And hopefully we will do better in the future. So until then, this is Vic Martino saying, good evening, friends. Hey, everyone out there in online land. This is Vic Martino with the very last segment or episode of the Vic Martino Show. Yeah, the last video was supposed to be the last one. I actually, was acting as if it was the last one, but it turns out that was number 9. So we figured we'd go for an even 10. So for this episode, for want of a better word, of the Vic Martino Show, for want of a better title, I figured, what am I going to talk about for the last episode? Well, I'm going to talk about Vic Martino. I'm going to talk about myself. Actually, those of you watching, I hope you subscribe to my 2 YouTube channels, the Vic Martino YouTube channel and the Vic Martino official YouTube channel. And that way you can see all my videos that I post, including this 10-segment, 10-part Vic Martino show. So some of the videos I recommend, well, my documentary, Williamsburg, Brooklyn, Then and Now, My Mother and Her Friends. I would love everyone to see that. That's my documentary I'm very proud of. And there are 3 different versions. There's the 20-minute version. That's the original. That was screened at the Williamsburg Film Festival. And it was the main feature. It got a very good response there. 2017, I think it was. That it was screened at the Williamsburg Film Festival. And then there's the 40-minute version, which is the bonus features. And there's a 60-minute version that we tried to make it into a feature because it was filmed in the short film festival. And then we tried to enter it the next year or a couple of years later into the feature film festival. That didn't get accepted because it was basically the same, just some extra footage. But anyway, you can see all 3 versions, the 20-minute, the 40-minute, and the 60-minute here on YouTube. So, but I suggest start out with the 20-minute version, and then if you like that, the 40-minute, then work your way up to the 60-minute. There you go. So, all right, so I guess that's our last Vic Martino show here for now. And yeah, there's really nothing more to talk about. So I want Lucas, the cameraman, the last shot of the Vic Martino show to be of Stan Laurel and Oliver Hardy. So we're going to go out with a smile because that's a very nice poster and it really puts a smile on your face. And how can you go wrong with Stan Laurel and Oliver Hardy? You'll always end on a happy note. So until the next video, whatever that might be, take care of yourselves. I wish you all the health and happiness. And I love you all. Thanks for watching. And be well.